As promised in my last video, I have read all the comments that you guys have sent in my last two videos and the live session which I did last week. I have read the comments and I have categorized it under different themes. So today is series 1 where I am looking at the questions around ILR for people who are looking to apply for ILR in the next say couple of weeks or months or years. And also, I have looked at the questions where people are asking about switching their visa, skill visa, say from one employer to another employer, or renewing or extending their visa. So, if you have posted those questions around ILR or skill visa, switching, which salary threshold applies to you, which job code you should be looking at, which tables you should be referring to, make sure you watch the video till the end because we are going to discuss all that in detail with Amil. So, let's get started. Hi, Amil. Welcome to Your Knowledge Buddy once again. And if you don't mind, can you please introduce yourself to my audience, please?
Hi Sarika, hope you're well. My name is Mohammed Amil. I am an IA registered immigration lawyer. My company name is Mac25 London. I'm an international student and struggling with each one of you, like always.
Okay. Perfect. That was a good introduction, by the way. Amil, one of the reasons why we are having this video is because of the number of questions that I have received in my last two videos and also the live session you joined us last week. So what I have done, I have already collated the common theme around the questions that people are asking. I'm going to ask those questions one by one, but first I'm going to start with the statement of changes
Yeah.
major that people are not understanding is there are various tables which are mentioned in statement of changes, table 1, 2, 3, table 1A, B, which
Yeah.
table to refer when. That is the major confusion and misunderstanding in the people. Can we start first with that, and then of course I'll follow up with more questions later.
Yeah, definitely. Not just audience, even we as immigration professionals, we are also confused. We were able to deal with few tables, but now we have got six, seven tables to deal with because all the clients have got different kinds of situations. And I understand. I guess for your audience, I have specifically made a master table which we shared, I think, few days back. I think we shall start from there itself. So let's talk about the master table, Sarika. So
Mhm.
this is what we have seen that from statement of changes of 138 pages. This is what I have been able to squeeze, which can be understandable for each one of us, not just as immigration professional, but for the candidates and applicants as well, who are currently in the skilled worker route and who are planning to apply for the skilled worker visa post 20th, 22nd July 2025. So let's start with table one. So table one is like a clean slate. So it is actually for the people who are looking to apply for a new skilled worker visa post 22nd of July 2025. So let's say if anybody have got a COS assigned post that date, so table 1 is the one they have to be looking for.
Mhm.
And before I proceed to table 1A, we have to be made sure that table 1 just have RQF level 6 related jobs and not RQF level 3 to 5. Okay. So let's go to table 1A. So table 1A is for the applicants who have been originally sponsored under RQF level 3 to RQF level 5, whose COS have been assigned from April 2024 to July 2025, because we have seen within this gap also there have been a big change. So this table needs to be looked by the people who are doing in the transitional phase, who are going to maybe extend or maybe switch the visa applications post this date. So they are the one who need to look at table 1A between April 2024 and July 2025. Let's go for table 2. Very interesting. So table 2 are for the people who are already on skilled worker visa and who have continuous status before April 2024. So we have got two lots over here, pre-April 2024 and pre-July 2025. But table 2 specifically focus on people who have already got the visa before anything changed drastically. And it has got only RQF level 6 jobs. For example, like software engineers, testers, network engineers, most of the IT people, managerial roles like marketing, HR, and all those sorts of things. Okay. Table 2A. So table 2A are for the existing skilled worker visa holders who are extending in the same job with the same sponsor, who have got the permission before April 2024 or their cause was assigned before 2024. So we need to remember that even table 2A have got RQF level 6 and above. So this table can be used for extension and switching under the continuous provision. So this is what we need to remember. And finally, table 2AA. So these are for people for low skill role like warehouse managers, business development executive, chefs, most of them from hospitality industry. So these roles are for the people who have been sponsored before April 2024, only RQF level 3 to 5, and who will get a transitional concession whenever they are going to switch or extend the visa application pre-April 2024. And yeah, we have got table 3 obviously for health and educational sector, which is specifically mentioned on the basis of national pay scales. And yeah, obviously table 3A removed health and educational role previously eligible. So I think it is very important for our audience to understand each of this table plays a very important role in their life, whether they are applying for a new visa application, whether they are switching to a new sponsor, whether they're extending the current skilled worker visa under the current provisional. So these what they need to know. It's not just about the occupations, it mostly about the exact salary also they would need under the transitional arrangements.
Amazing. Oh my God. Even after looking at this table, it looks good, but by the time I move to table three, I forget what was table 1A or table one, which one to
Yeah,
refer when. So I think
yeah,
your job is not going to be easy going
yeah,
forward. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Okay.
yeah,
Thank
it started.
Yeah, I started already. Okay. Thank you, Amal, for explaining that. If you don't mind, can we just take one example and go back to statement of change and refer, say, I'll not take table one at the moment because table one actually is will be applicable from 22nd of July. Most of the
Mhm.
queries which is coming our way is about people who are already on a skill visa who have to
Yeah,
extend their visa or
yeah,
renew their visa. So let's take an
mhm.
example of table 2 or maybe 1A and see which columns to refer because even that table contains many columns. Let's understand on
Yeah.
a high level which one they should be referring to and the salary threshold.
So let me give you a very straightforward example. What I had a consultation with my client in the morning. So let's refer to table 2 for the people who have already got the visa before April 2024. So Sarika, here we are at table 2.
Mhm.
Let's say if somebody have got their skilled worker visa application granted before April 2024 and they have been got a job of, let's say, a software engineer, which comes under 2134. Okay. So what the new transitional provision says that obviously when they are extending the visa application within the same sponsor itself, so the minimum going rate would be 40,000 pounds for them. That is very important to understand. But on the flip side, let's say if somebody have got a job as a graphic designer pre-April 2024, okay? So their salary going rate is 26,200. But what we need to remember under the transitional period for people before April 2024, the going rate would be 31,400. So we have to take whatever is higher. Here, out of 31,300, 40,000 was higher under software engineer. But when we are talking about a graphic designer, out of 26,200, 31,300 is higher. So we are going to take that going rate, whatever is going for specific industry, and then we are going to extend the visa application with the same sponsor. So this is how the different statement of changes tables work whenever you're extending a visa application.
So am I understanding this correctly? So example of 213 for programmer. Uh,
Mhm.
3 years ago when I applied for my visa, say the salary threshold was, again, a stupid example, maybe say 38,000. And today when I
Mhm.
renew the visa, I have to check this column, which says
Yeah,
first column going rate, which says
exactly.
40,000, 40,000. And
Yes,
so this is the going rate for the job code 2134. So you're saying for each job code, the going rate is different.
exactly,
So we need to
exactly,
compare the going rate of the job code versus the minimum salary threshold for that year. And whichever
exactly.
is higher needs to be taken.
Right. So, for example, if somebody before April 2024 would like to apply for ILR, so the minimum threshold has been increased from 29,000 pounds to 31,300. So, what they need to do is if software engineer going rate is 40,000 and the transitional arrangement is 31,300, so they need to choose whatever is higher. So, in software engineer case, 40,000 is higher. And when we are talking about a graphic designer, 31,300 is higher.
Okay. Okay, thanks, Amber. You're using a term called as transitional arrangements. Let's talk
Yeah.
about it, what it means, and where people can read more details about it. Which job codes are allowed to have transitional arrangements versus which are not?
So, Sarika, transitional arrangement is something which are like a temporary protection which is put into place for people who are already there in the skilled worker route. So, let's say when people are there on a skilled worker route pre-April 2024, or maybe who are there on a skilled worker route pre-July 2025, they will be put under the transitional arrangement. For example, whoever has got a role like a warehouse manager, maybe like a chef under hospitality industry, or maybe on a lower management role like marketing executive or a business development executive. So those people, whenever they are going to extend or switch their visa within the same employer, they will be protected under the transitional arrangement. But one thing what we need to understand, they act like a grace period, which allowing you to continue under the old rules. Even though new stricter rules have come into impact, this transitional arrangement would act like a parachute for everyone who is going to extend with the same sponsor until they apply for ILR.
Okay. So does it mean that only few job codes are protected under transitional arrangements, not all the job code? And is it covered under the statement of changes?
So
Yeah.
if we see the memorandum by the Home Office, what they have published, they have explicitly mentioned that this transitional arrangement would be in place until 31st of December 2026. The
Okay.
MAC is going to review that and they are going to come back and let us know that what decision have they take after the consultations have taken place.
Okay.
So I think it's too early to discuss about it. We have to let's wait for what unfolds in coming days.
Okay. By any chance, can you show us where is the transitional job codes which are protected are at least mentioned?
So if you see on the master table, because it would be very difficult to navigate on the statement of changes, if you see the table like table 1A, it is protected under the transitional arrangement. Also table 2A, even people who are applying or extending the visa application for RQF level 6, they are also protected under the transitional arrangement. Same goes for table 2AA, but it is only for the people who have got the COS assigned before 4th of April 2024. So these are the things we need to understand. So in a nutshell, for our audience who do not understand such technicalities, I know some people would be, scruffing their head that what Amil and Sarika are talking about. But in a nutshell, what we need to understand, if your COS or your visa have been assigned or approved before 25th or 22nd of July 2025, you will be protected under the transitional arrangement until and unless Home Office comes back with a consultation by the MEC review.
Okay. So all the job codes basically are protected under
Exactly.
transitional arrangement. So any visa which is issued before 22nd of July, in short.
Exactly.
Okay.
Or C was assigned, I would say.
Okay, CUSSN, yes. Okay. Because many people are reaching out, oh, whether my job is protected or not under
Yeah.
transitional arrangements. Like, I don't know. I can't see it, where to find the list. Okay. So that list is not published, but basically that is a thumb rule. Any CUS issue.
Exactly. That is the thumb rule. Yeah. That is what we need to abide by all the time.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you. Now I'm going to ask you some of the questions which I have listed for you. And if you don't mind, again, I have promised to my audience that I will be looking for, I will be reading all the comments which they had been sending in my last two comment video and also in the live session. So I'll be literally taking examples and asking you what they had asked me. I'm not going to share my screen because I got many questions. So the first question is, one of the person is saying, I should have written the name. I forgot to write the name. So he's saying, my COS was issued in December 2021 and I'll apply for ILR in December 2026. Will I be assessed under the old or new salary threshold? Take example. Can we take an example of any job, say job code 2136, and explain by showing it in a table or a demo for my audience, Amil?
So what people need to understand, obviously we are going to do that. The SOC code pre-April 2024, which was 2136. After April 2024, it is 2134. So the SOC code has not changed. The Home Office has themselves changed the SOC code. So he will be obviously protected under the transitional arrangement. But whoever asked this question, what we need to explain them that if your COS was issued in December 2021 and you have continuously held your skilled worker visa status since then, your ILR application in December 2026 will fall under the transitional provisional and not under the new threshold. So you're very safe, you're very sound, and you would be protected under the transitional provisions.
Okay, I'm going to move to the next question because I got many questions. I don't know how many can we cover. So one of the person is asking, my job moved from SOC say 2136 to 2134 after April 2024. Should I meet the old going rate of 2136 or the new threshold of 2134 at ILR?
Quite similar question as we discussed first, but yeah, it is very important to understand the confusion people have. So the count as change of employment, which means your sponsorship or let's say your ILR, could now fall under SOC 2134 because the jobs have completely changed when we talk about the SOC code by the Home Office. So depending what you stated in your most recent COS, in this case, you must meet the salary threshold for 2134 at the time of your ILR application, even if your earlier permission was under 2136, and which means you are doing the same job role, but just by the Home Office, your SOC was changed. So you'll be fine under 2134 new transitional arrangements.
Okay, so refer to the new one then, basically. New.
Exactly.
Good. Okay. Another question, does time spent under the old job code, say again 2136, count towards ILR if that code no longer exists?
Yeah, 100% it does. 100%. We are all talking about transitional protection over here,
Yeah.
as a visa would be pre-April 24 or pre-July 25, you'll be safe.
Okay. Um, Another question from someone who is switching employer. So, question is, if I switch employers now and get a new CUS post 22nd of July 2025, it means the new rules. Do I lose transitional protections and have to meet the new ILR threshold of whatever it is based on the job code?
So, yes, if you switch your employers and issued a new COS on or after 22nd of July 2025, you will lose the transitional provisions and protections because you need to meet the new rules at the time of your ILR. This is what you need to understand. Because down the line here, we are talking about July 2025. We don't know by the time you reach your ILR what new implication is going to be there, what new immigration rules are going to be there. But as of July 2025, you won't be protected under the transitional arrangement because your new COS will be issued after 22nd of July 2025.
Ah, quite confusing. So, if I'm switching employer, and of course getting a new COS after 22nd of July, then I'm not protected under transitional law. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will have to meet the new salary threshold as well. Yeah.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
However, the difference is if I continue with the same employer and I just extend my visa even after
Yeah, yeah.
22nd of July, I'll be protected under transitional arrangements
100%.
and I
Yes,
follow that table of lower salary threshold.
exactly, exactly.
Oh, oh my God. Okay. All right. Thanks, Amir. Okay, moving to the next question. Again, everything related to ILR. Is there any exemption to salary thresholds at ILR for long term UK residents or high demand jobs like software engineers or, say, doctors or something like that?
Well, nothing has been announced as such.
Mhm.
The only good thing we know is I don't know for how many people, but these roles obviously comes under RQF level 6. So these people would be given, let's say, a front seat whenever it comes to, new visa applications and things like that, because table 1 is just all about them. But there is no such exemption or any contributions as yet we have got to known from the government as yet. So we have to wait on the further announcements for the same.
Okay. Thanks, Amir. Next question. Again, I can see somebody's worried due to their maternity or paternity leave. So this person is asking, what if I'm on unpaid leave or take maternity or paternity shared parental leave close to my ILR application date? Will salary dips during that period affect my ILR eligibility given the new salary scrutiny?
Hmm. Interesting one. So let's say whoever you are, if you're on maternity, paternity, maybe shared parental or sick leave, and you're close to your ILR date, a temporary dip in the salary won't affect your ILR eligibility as long as it is properly being documented by your sponsor to be saying. Because Home Office accepts these kind of excuses and this won't penalize you. even under the new post 2022 July 2025 rules, you won't be under any scrutiny, or it won't impact your ILR as well. But just one thing we have to make sure, that whenever any applicant apply for an ILR application, the home office requests a letter from the employer. So the employer needs to be in a position to explain it to the home office that what exactly happened and why the salary has taken a dip. Because obviously they would submit their pay slips, the home office will check the HMRC records against that. And most importantly, these things also need to be updated on the SMS portal as well.
Okay, the next question is around the going rate versus the general threshold. We have kind of touched upon it, but again, I'm going to take this question because I see many people asking it. Should I follow the SOC specific going rate or the general salary requirement when renewing or extending my visa?
Good question. As you rightly said. So, if you're renewing or extending your skilled worker visa, you need to meet two things: the general salary threshold level set by the home office, and the minimum salary for your specific job, as me and Sarika were discussing before. So, whichever of those two numbers are higher, that's the one you need to match. Even if, let's say, you got your visa before the new rules on 22nd of July 2025, these salary rules will still apply when you apply or extend your visa again. So before you submit, you need to double check that your current salary meets both the general requirements of salary threshold and one of your specific job title as well. Those things are very important. Those two things needs to be matched accordingly.
Thanks, Amil. The next question is again on ILR eligibility. I don't know how much information you have. So somebody's worried about already TSOL, which is a temporary shortage occupation list. So will time spent in an RQF level 3 to 5 TUSL role still count towards 5 years of continuous residence for ILR?
So if you're currently working, in SOC code, it's not still TSL. TSL, it's going to be implemented after 22nd of July.
Correct.
So you are just under the skilled worker route with RQF level 3 to 5, but it will be still counted under ILR. But since the government has not confirmed this yet, so we strongly advise that to employers and the employees as well to plan with caution. And we will update you as soon as any official guidance is published. Until then, do not assume any ILR eligibility until your role meets all the skilled worker and ILR requirements.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Amil. So those were the pattern of the questions that I've seen most of the people who were asking in my last two videos and also in the live session. This is regarding renewing of visa, switching
Yeah.
of employer, ILR. I have not
Yeah.
taken other questions, but maybe we'll do another series where I'll take a similar kind of pattern where we can continue taking questions from that. But till the time, I believe 22nd of July, there will be a lot of uncertainty and there will be many questions from people. And as I know, you immigration lawyers are also pretty busy now with many discussions that you're having with barristers and also trying to make sense of the things which are published now,
That's
right,
right.
Amil? Yeah. Okay. Any final words from you before we end today's video?
So, I know a lot of people are messaging on LinkedIn, emails, phone call messages. I'll suggest people to book up consultation with us, because at the end of the day, what you need to remember is we can only give time on specific inquiries, because we are getting inquiries from hundreds of people and those inquiries are quite similar. So, if you think you are on cliffhanger, you may be getting a COS before 22nd of July, you need to apply for a skilled worker visa, but you're not aware about your role is into TSL or what's going to happen, kindly book a consultation so that we can help you one to one rather than being generic about the process. So, but thank you so much, Sarika, for arranging this and taking questions from the audience. I'm very happy.
Thank you for taking time from your busy schedule to come and record this session. Thank you very much, Amil. I hope this helps my audience. And of course, I'm going to do another session very soon as quickly as I can read all the comments. I'm sure I'm going to bother you again. Thank you, Amil. Thank you for coming and recording this
Thank
video. Thank you. Bye bye.